What do we have for Cancer, please? Nine of Swords, Gemini energy at the foundation of the reading, Cancer. Cancer, I did a couple of pre-spreads for you, and all the cards that were coming out at the beginning of these readings were all indicating things taking place in the dream realm. Nine of Swords is an energy of nightmares, some sort of dark dreams. You could be having some sleepless nights, maybe waking up feeling heat around you. But I feel that what's going on, Cancer, is that you're getting messages surrounding cycles that you've moved on from in your life. The divine is showing you what things would have been like had you stayed in those karmic cycles that you've now moved on from. That toxic ex-lover, that toxic friend who was holding you back and not doing anything with their life, that toxic family member who always wants to keep you in an energy of sorrow and surround you with their chaos. That's all the result of their lack of healing and development in their own life. So what you're seeing in your dreams are different outcomes, different realities, different timelines that are all existing at the exact same time. Here you are on this timeline, on path, living your best life. However it may look for you, you're in an energy of moving forward and having moved on. The reason why the divine is showing you all of this in your dreams is to validate where you are now, to let you know, yes, you have indeed closed out these cycles. Let us give you a little glimpse of what it would have been like had you stayed in those cycles. There's also a lot of individuals coming to you in your dreams that you have left behind. I feel that what these people did to you in your waking life was disturbing enough to where they can't even face you or dare contact you, because what they done is not your responsibility to forgive. Now, what I mean by that, Cancer, is I feel that some of these people did things that were so wicked that there's just no turning back. You know, an example of this would be family members hiring somebody to hurt you, something like this, for their own financial gain. And there's just really no going back from that. I feel that some of them actually did try to physically harm you behind your back without you knowing, worked with people to try and stop you from succeeding in areas of your life. And I feel that this went on for a very, very long time until you finally started to see the light, until you finally woke up to the truth of why your life had always been so stagnated and filled with loss and struggle for no good reason. Now, it is important that you forgive yourself. You have that sit down with you and the divine and your higher self, and a conversation is had that, yes, you've learned your lessons, you see the truth now, and you won't be re-entering those cycles with those people. But as far as forgiving these people face to face, that is absolutely not necessary, okay? Because the problem with that is most of these people don't regret what they did. They only regret that they got caught. So how can you forgive somebody who doesn't regret what they did, right? See, there's a lot of misconceptions around forgiveness. You know, you'll hear all the time in my readings and other tarot readings, oh, you have to forgive. And I'm never telling you to forgive people unless they're coming to you and truly, truly sorry for what they did. I'm telling you to forgive yourself for having stayed engaged in those cycles and not accepting the truth sooner, okay? And reaching that point where, yes, a lesson has been learned and I will move on. That's what we're talking about here, okay? A lot of these people are also trying to rewrite the narrative. So they know that they're stuck on this previous timeline, an alternate timeline. A lot of these individuals have been eradicated from your life. Some of them couldn't contact you even if they wanted to because they don't know how to reach you, or they're scared that, say they do reach out by email or something, that you won't respond, which would be very damaging to their ego. See, these people are all about their ego. They're not going to do anything, make any moves, if they feel their ego is at risk. Very strong, narcissistic individuals that you have left behind, Cancer. What do we have at the sacral, please? Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy at the sacral. This goes along perfectly with everything I'm saying because this is you having that sit down with your higher self and the divine. It's an energy of healing. It's an energy of forgiveness. And it's also an energy of emotional security. A lot of these individuals drained you, Cancer, of your light, of your love, of your time, for their own selfish needs. And a lot of them also made you feel like you needed them in some capacity, right? Again, this is a really big narcissistic tactic. They make you feel like you need them when it's actually the other way around. And it isn't until you finally move on do you start to see the truth. You start to see the light. That you were, in fact, being used as some sort of energetic supply. You validated their existence because they were able to keep you stuck with them. Essentially an energy of enabling them in some capacity here. These individuals were incredibly codependent on your light, on your energy, and they were lacking enough confidence and emotional security in their own life to actually make the changes that they need to in order to elevate. We've reached a time, astrologically, where portals have closed. The individuals that refused to do the work they needed to do during that Venus retrograde are now stuck on that alternate timeline. That's what they chose. So they have to continue to stay on that timeline, run those cycles for however long they last for until they get it. But what they're going to do in the meantime is try to irritate you from afar, I feel. I feel the tactics are still being used to try and slow you down or stop you, but I feel that you can see through all of this now. So, Cancer, the best way to navigate this energy is just completely unreactive. Just ignore it, okay? Because all they're trying to do at this point is get you to react. You reacting allows them to reconnect to your energy and drain you of this life force that's running through you that you need to keep pushing forward on your path. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Hangman, Pisces energy at the solar plexus. And for those of you Cancers that are still dealing with these individuals in your everyday life, now's the time to cut the cord. It's time to let go, okay? Because I feel that you've had enough messages, you've watched enough tarot readings to know that it's time to move on from this cycle. Stop enabling these energies. Stop allowing these individuals to hold you back from your mission. All you're doing is sacrificing yourself to the needs of others. You need to start looking at things from a higher perspective, evaluating your life through the eyes of the universe. Cancer, we don't get a lot of time here. So our time here needs to be spent in our mission. These cycles that a lot of you are stuck in do nothing for the greater good of humanity. And you have to understand that spiritually speaking, we're all fighting a war. So by you remaining engaged in these cycles with these individuals, you're not necessarily winning. You're giving them a win because they have you right where they want you. So I'm speaking to obviously multiple groups of Cancers. Some of you have moved on. Some of you are still dealing with this. Some of you are just now waking up to this. Okay? But the one thing that all of you have in common is that you have a mission. You have a purpose here. You have orders that were given to you by the divine, and these individuals you are dealing with were assigned to you to make sure that you don't fulfill those orders. So again, I highly encourage you to start looking at your life from this higher universal vantage point. What would God do in your situation? Because I'm picking up a very heavy parasitical energy from the Cancer collective. A lot of these people have been gaining off of your light for far too long. A lot of these people have also been disrupting this connection you have with Source. It's hard to hear the voice of God when you have these people around you because of the low vibrational nature that you sacrifice yourself to merely by having them in your auric field. You see, quite often I'll speak about how it's impossible for them to raise their vibration to where you are, Cancer, because that entails ascension. It entails spiritual awakening. It entails surrender. Think about everything you've had to go through to get to where you are now spiritually, to get to this place of awakening. In order for those individuals to raise their vibration to where you are, they must go through all of that. Now, it's a lot easier for you to lower your vibration to where they are, because chances are you were there at one point in time before you had your awakening. So it's essentially them dragging you back down the metaphorical staircase of ascension. I'm seeing hands come out of a dark abyss, grabbing you by the ankles, trying to pull you back down. That's representative of what I'm picking up here. It's like being dragged back down to hell after you've already ascended spiritually and recalibrated with your higher self and the divine and gotten on your path. Okay? What do we have at the heart, please? Strength. Leo energy at the heart of the reading. And this speaks on everything I've been talking about up until this point in this reading, Cancer. This is an energy of a Kundalini rising. And the illustration really speaks about what I was saying, right? It's like here you are in this high vibrational energy of awakening. And then this beast is representative of these low vibrational energies, right? And as you can see here, this individual is closing the jaws of this lion. So it gives me the energy of you shutting these energies down, which is really you just not giving them an audience, moving on, self-empowering. There's an energy here of fortitude. It's an energy of transformation. I feel that you're in this space now, Cancer, or you're being advised to move in this energy of magnanimity. This is very calm energy. Don't allow these irritating energies and their pettiness to stifle you. There's a lot of reactive energies I'm feeling around you right now, Cancer. And this is all being illuminated to you in the dream space, Cancer. But there's also a deep knowing you have. I feel that your intuition's really on point right now. So a lot of the time when you think about these people and what they might be doing, I really feel that that's right on target. It's as if these are all downloads you're getting from the divine. The divine needs to make you aware of your growth and how far you've come. It's all a part of the path. It's that energy of the divine giving us validation that we are on path, that we're right where we need to be. These individuals really want you to doubt yourself right now, Cancer. They want to pull you back into these cycles. They don't want you to be healed. You know, when I went through my spiritual awakening and I was healing myself, I found that there were people around me that weren't supportive or happy. And a lot of the things I accomplished during that awakening and that time of healing, I thought that I would get praise from the people around me. I would get support. I thought that if I was able to accomplish those things, that I would have family members that would be proud of me. But when I actually accomplished it, I was met with silence. In fact, they all turned on me. And it wasn't until I was able to disengage from all of those individuals and never look back did I realize that I accomplished what they never could. And so they came for me in some capacity, right? So this is, again, a tactic that narcissists use. They'll make you think that they want you to be successful in life, but if you try to go any higher than them, then there's a really big problem. See, narcissists always need to keep the people closest to them beneath them. What do we have at the throat, please? And look who decided to show up to the party, Cancer. The devil at the throat. And this speaks further on what I was picking up. I mean, this is just an energy of complete bondage and despair. Completely restricted by these individuals that were in your life. It really is the feeling of moving out of hell. But it's like you didn't know that you were in hell, which tells me that this is a dynamic that you were in from a very young age. This is definitely something that I can also relate to, Cancer. I didn't really know how dark and demonic my surroundings were until I grew up and I had something to compare it to. Now looking back, I always wondered to myself, what were the authority in my life thinking? And as time has gone on, I've started to realize that they did it on purpose. That's the way they wanted it, because they're not on the same team as us. And Cancer, a lot of you were birthed into these families to try and get them to wake up, to get them to surrender to the divine. But for most of you, none of these people woke up. None of them surrendered. And I think that the divine always knew that that was going to be the case, but they needed to come face to face with an example of what it truly meant to wake up and get on path. You were the example in these individuals' lives. It's as if you were the barometer that measured the atmospheric pressure around them in this low vibrational existence that they all live in. You being a representative of the divine. It's essentially them coming face to face with Christ-like consciousness. It's like going behind enemy lines and communicating with all the individuals that have defected, giving them the opportunity to come back to the divine light, but they choose to stay. Cancer, that makes you a warrior for the divine. And this is really what we're all here for. We're down here to wake people up to their divinity, get back on path, so we can fulfill our missions here, which all has to do with keeping the balance inside the collective. But a lot of souls incarnate into this density, into this reality, and they defect because of the illusions, the lies that we're bombarded with on a daily basis. It's hard not to. Right? All of us, at some point in our life, came from that before we awoken spiritually. Some of us were meant to go through that, collect that wisdom, that experience, so when we got back on path, we can be used as an instrument for the divine with that knowing and understanding of what other people may be going through. You've reclaimed your power, Cancer. Some of you are actually getting ready to detach from this energy. Quite a lot of you are in some sort of abusive situation, whether it's verbally, physically, mentally. There's many, many different scenarios that I'm picking up on. What do we have at the third eye? What do we have at the third eye, please? Okay, too many cards. 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy at the third eye. Further detailing these energies that a lot of you have been dealing with. I'm picking up on some very, very theatrical kind of energies. Let's just put it that way. Cancer, these are forces, these are individuals that you cannot change. Sometimes people will come to me and they'll ask me how they can get people in their lives to awaken spiritually. My answer to that is always the same. By example. Outside of that, there's absolutely nothing you can do. Think about what it took for you to wake up spiritually. It took you nurturing that connection with the divine to awaken spiritually. That's it. People can either choose to follow the example that you lay out, and again, you being the example that was actually sent to them by the divine, or they can continue to stay where they're at. Some of you are actually trying to change the people that you're around. And you can't. You're wasting your time. All you're going to do is end up right back where you started. You're going to lose all that progress, right? Like I was saying, the hand coming out of the dark abyss, pulling you back down the stairway to ascension. There's also this very chaotic energy that I'm picking up, Cancer. I feel that there's individuals that are trying to re-engage you in these cycles, like I was saying, in order to sabotage you. It's like they want to do something that's permanent, so you can't move forward. You can only move backwards. Now, there's obviously many ways that this can happen, but a lot of the things that I'm starting to feel intuitively are very dark. I don't even want to speak on them, Cancer. But as long as you keep pushing forward, and as long as you start putting a plan in place that sees you moving away from these energies, you really don't have anything to worry about. Don't look back, Cancer, because we all know what happens when you look back. Don't become the pillar of salt, Cancer. What do we have at the crown? Ace of Pentacles at the crown. And the entire energy just lifted as soon as this card came out. Cancer, you have a lot to look forward to, okay? This is the divine getting you on path, all right? Here's the blessings. Here's your mission. This represents everything that has to do with you aligning. Those peaks represent the pinnacle of success in your life, whatever that means to you. I just heard you're under divine guidance, Cancer. For those of you that are transitioning on from these energies right now, you're going to start seeing movement in other areas of your life. I was getting messages before the reading surrounding some of you waiting on money. This could be having to do with some sort of insurance claims, an inheritance, take it as it fits. There's also some individuals that I feel are going to get promotions in their jobs. There's just an overall energy of you completing a cycle, elevating to the next timeline, and everything starts to move and support you. But all of this movement, Cancer, has to do with this new path that's unfolding for you. If you have stagnation in your life, Cancer, you need to reevaluate the energies you have around you. I would go as far as saying that 99% of the time, what's holding you back is staring you right in the face, Cancer. What do we have at the foundation, please? Oh, wow. Staring you right in the face is right. King of Wands, Asmodeus. Makes men fly into passionate rage and desire. Wastes beauty, destroys happiness. I read this in its negative polarity. This is essentially the King of Wands in its detriment. This goes along perfectly with everything I was saying here. There's this very impulsive energy, very ruthless, okay? So this is the energy you're dreaming about, right? This is this alternate timeline. They're trying to pull you back onto this timeline. Here you are, having ascended, for those of you that have moved on from this. Or this is future energy for those of you who haven't yet. But you're dreaming about these alternate timelines. King of Wands, Asmodeus, right? This is this alternate timeline. And all the people that were involved. All the different villains. They're trying to pull you back through this portal. The devil and Asmodeus are on this table. These are the high princes of hell. These are very, very dark forces, Cancer. There's a lot of very peed off people that you managed to disengage from this cycle. This was not a part of the plan. What do we have? The sacral, please. Judgment. Wow. Belial. Pluto, Scorpio energy at the sacral in its negative polarity. So again, an energy of stagnation. Also reiterating what I was saying earlier on in the reading about these individuals refusing to surrender, right? This is an energy that's refusing to self-examine. Trying to hold back judgment, which that never works out. It only hits you harder. These individuals are trying to avoid karma by keeping you engaged in the cycle, which is telling me that you trigger their karma when you leave the cycle. Now, I think I was speaking about this in the Aquarius reading. Sometimes I see comments from people saying, I don't want them to get their karma for what they did to me. I don't wish them any harm. Now, I understand that this comes from a good place, but you need to not get in the way of people getting their karma. This is the only way they learn their lesson and get on their path. This is the best chance they have of turning things around. It's the only chance, because usually this has come after their last chance. This is when the divine and God starts working in these individuals' lives to try and reform them. It's not up to you or anybody else to decide who does and doesn't get karma. However, when you stay with these energies, which is you enabling them, you validating their behavior, you're getting in the way of them receiving their karma the way it needs to be received in order to learn the lessons. Because eventually the divine will have to start delivering their karma to them, and it will be dispersed. You will intercept some of that karma. So for those of you Cancers out there that aren't moving on from these cycles, you need to really have a think about what you're sacrificing here. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Nine of Swords, Lee. So we have Nine of Swords twice now. So this is confirming exactly what I said at the beginning of the reading. Here it is right here. So this is all shadow energy. This is essentially happening behind the scenes on alternate timelines. They're sending this energy towards you, right? To try and evade their judgment and have their karma sentenced to them. They're attacking you in the dream state. Nine of Swords. And then this is how it shows up. You wake up in the middle of the night. You're like, oh my God, what was that dream? I could have sworn I dreamt of some demon with 3 heads growing out of him. He had really bad breath, too. You could almost see the breath, it was so bad. In Cancer, I speak very confidently on what I'm channeling through to you right now because I myself have been through this. This is very real. When these cowards and narcissists can't get to you in the physical, they come to you in the spiritual. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. 3 of Pentacles, Ouroboros, Capricorn energy. just keeps repeating the same message. Stagnation, trying to block you. Whenever I get this card, it reminds me of like a bull in a china shop, right? They just want to come through and knock over everything that you've built. Just complete chaos. It says right there, vice. It's like this person, these people, these cycles with these individuals. It's like a vice. It's hard to break free from. It's got a hold on you. The only way to disengage is to get moving and never look back. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, Mebahia, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, intellectual lucidity. This is where you're going, Cancer. This is an energy of stability. It's an energy of security. I'm just seeing this bright light around you, Cancer, right? Lucidity. There's this very clear energy that I'm getting from you. I just heard smooth sailing. It's as if everything just turns around. Cancer, this is also representing an energy, which is similar to what I was picking up earlier on in the reading, about keeping the balance inside the collective, right? This is all a part of our mission. This card here is really speaking about you working together with the earth to bring about abundance in your life by way of you aligning. See, abundance, it's a mindset, and then it starts materializing in your reality. There's this energy here of you being in tune with nature. So some of you might want to actually get out in nature, ground, put your feet in the dirt, the sand, the ocean, wherever you can get to. Allow the sunlight to absorb into your crown chakra on the top of your head, Cancer. I feel that they wanted me to tell you that because you have downloads waiting for you. Okay? What do we have at the throat, please? Five of Cups, Scorpio energy. Viulia, God, King, and Ruler, prosperity, destruction of the enemy, and deliverance from bondage, right underneath that Devil card, which is you in bondage. On this alternate timeline, this is what they want to do. They want to get you back in bondage. But this Five of Cups right here is representing you now moving on. Not looking back. You're also going to get to a point, Cancer, where you are able to release the sadness of these previous cycles. You accept everything for the way it's unfolded. You enter into this space of forgiveness like I was speaking about earlier on in the reading, and you move on. You're on a completely different timeline, and you're in mission. What do we have at the third eye, please? Ace of Wands at the third eye. Aries, Leo, Sag energy. O male. The patient God. Fertility and multiplicity. Protects against despair. Helps one be patient. Cancer, there's a whole new beginning here for you. There's this energy of creation that I'm also getting from you. This is another reason why they're coming for you. They don't want you to enter into this space because what you create threatens their very existence. You're being initiated into this spiritual awareness, Cancer. There's a lot of momentum behind this new beginning. I just heard enterprise as well. This could represent new businesses, new projects. Take it as it fits for you. I'm picking up on many different things. A lot of these things that you've been trying to work on, Cancer, people made fun of or said that it wouldn't be successful. Something kind of abstract. It's as if you have something that these individuals didn't understand or threatened them. Whatever this thing is, it might even be something that the divine has yet to tell you about. But for most of you, I feel like you probably know. This is going to bring you a lot of success. It's all a part of your mission. It's all written in your Akashic records. Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy to close out the reading. Ihu Ia, the omniscient God. Submission to higher order. Identifies traitors and destroys their plans. Cancer, there is a lot of wealth and financial gain in this reading, right here at the crown. I'm picking up on this very affluent, very luxurious kind of energy. Everything is culminating, okay? Like I was saying, you were sent into these individuals' lives, identifies traitors and destroys their plans, right? You're basically the individual that went into their life to remind them that the divine is watching them. See, these people think that they've been getting away with all of this and going unnoticed, but the divine has seen all of this. These individuals became so drunk off of their own egos that they forgot that the divine had been watching them this entire time. As long as you're on this path or making plans to get on this path, you are protected. Cancer, this is the messages that I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Cancer. Take care.